My son asked me tonight if He-Man had that name because he had 2 penises.
Please, God, tell me you pushed the red button.
Oh, yeah, we're up to 26.
Oh, thank God. So what was your answer?
I said it wasn't a part of the show. It wasn't a part of the narrative, so...
So that's not canon.
Yeah, which means it's not wrong. It just means I don't know.
So your son is now creating He-Man fanfic.
No, my son is just asking good questions.
He
is challenging the author, challenging the creator.
Somebody was talking about... Never mind.
Oh, no.
I can't remember.
Oh, I was really hoping it was going to be something embarrassing.
Yeah.
No.
We prompted you with 2 penises.
Yeah.
I did not do anything of the kind.
I can't remember what it was. About naming body parts or something. I don't remember.
Cloaca?
That was yesterday.
When in doubt, cloaca.
It isn't this, it isn't that, it just taints.
So, hi. Welcome back to Book Babble. I'm your host, John Hartness.
There's a little screen.
There it is. There's a little screen.
Yep.
At a live studio audience.
At a live studio audience. Joining me, as always, is my co-host, Melissa McArthur, associate. Our audience likes her better.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
Love you guys. And joining us tonight, live from the Troubletree Williamsburg and MarsCon 2020, in front of a studio audience, is JD Jordan.
Hello.
JD is like, I don't know what's going on.
What's their extra rate? Like,
this is not a SAG shoot.
oh man, okay.
Entertainment value.
Yeah.
This is so not a SAG shoot.
This is unexpected. This is a big step up from Atomicon's lack of a studio audience.
We just had curtains.
Yeah.
You know, it was so unexpected because we stole half the chairs from that other seating area and just expected everybody to leave, but more of them showed up and we dragged more chairs, so screw it. We got an audience.
Cool. All right.
All right, you good?
Yeah. I just didn't want to.
I'm just drapey there.
I didn't need all your cord. Cool.
Take my cord back.
One of them's going to cut a cord, and somebody's going to end up with another baby. And
oh God, no.
Yeah. And JD can already field a basketball team.
I already have 5 kids. I don't need another one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, what's new, buddy? What's coming out? What's coming up? Where you been? What you doing?
Well, as you know, I have actually not been writing as much as I would like to have the last few years. So but I have a book that's sort of been in perpetual revision, and I think we're in our last one. It's a hard sci-fi kind of in the vein of The Expanse.
Okay.
Which I was not aware of when I wrote it. So,
I hate that because I've done that too.
Yeah, I'm fine. Like, The Expanse is very popular. I love it. So I will take whatever bump I can.
You'll take the comp you can get.
Right. So, I mean, I'm the guy who goes into Barnes & Noble, finds the Robert Jordan section, and then turns my book out and turns his book in. Like, because we're right next to each other alphabetically. Like,
yeah. I
am fine with the analogs and the ancillaries. Yeah.
Well, tell the people about the book that you have.
The book that's on shelves is Calamity. It's a sci-fi western. My wife describes it best. It's like Quentin Tarantino wrote a feminist western as a memoir, which I enjoy. I really like that. I thought that was a good description.
Your wife is smart.
Yeah.
She's also smoking hot.
All of this is true. Our first date was actually when I met to get her critique from the beta read, which was maybe not like the most subtle way for me to get her to go out to dinner. Other beta readers got a drink. She got like a night out because I maybe had an ulterior motive, but her feedback was wonderful.
That literally might be the smartest thing I've ever heard you say.
Hands down the best review I've ever gotten. But
I liked this book so much I married the author.
Yeah.
That's a cover blurb, bro.
Yeah, really.
I mean, eventually, other feedback came first.
That's fine.
But, and there is a sequel in the works. I've written the first 100 pages of it now 3 times. I've really struggled with how to follow up on Calamity, because Calamity is very much the story of Calamity Jane and an alien, and the second book is not Calamity Jane. So it's been a finding, and it's very voice-driven, so it's been struggling to find that voice.
Okay.
So whereas Calamity is really a story of revenge, the second one is really the aftermath of revenge, which is very much the, when you shoot someone, the ricochet often comes back on you, right? So since revenge is itself kind of always wish fulfillment and fantasy, there's a reason why we like movies like Man on Fire and Taken and stuff, and why, sadly, most of us don't get to exercise these fantasies in real life, right? So,
well, I have a very particular set of skills. None of them involve kicking somebody's ass
I know, me neither.
all over Europe.
I can draw pictures all day. That doesn't
I can lay out an ebook like nobody's business, but
I can count.
We know.
You can count?
Yes.
How high?
As high as I want to.
Oh, Jesus God.
Yeah.
We could find out.
No.
Okay.
So the other thing we do here on Book Babble in front of a live studio audience.
Woo! They are paying attention.
Shit, that's terrifying.
Yeah, I love it.
So the other thing we do is we ask authors to tell us about a book that inspired them or a book that they've recently read that they love. So talk about a book that's not yours.
Okay. I'm going to take you up on I'll be vague on the first point. Sure. Books that inspired me. So I remember I was probably in my 20s when I was very excited about a specific book, and I don't like to say names about people that I don't have something nice to say. So I won't say who the author or what the title was, but I was very excited about this book, and I read it, and it was awful.
Okay.
And I remember thinking, if this shit can get published, why the hell am I not published?
Yeah.
So many.
And I was
so many
and
writers.
I was especially dispirited because it was one of those books where it was a sequel to a book I loved, but it was written by someone else.
Oh.
But it was written by someone else who had the bona fides. Like,
it shouldn't have sucked.
It should not have sucked. But everything about it, from the way they were forcing characters to do X because we knew they should do Y somewhere else. It was not a franchise. It wasn't a Star Wars or a Star Trek book or something. But it was, and I don't mind those. I would love to write those. But
so if you're hiring,
just so you know, I've got a great voice for Star Wars.
Holla at your boys.
Right. So that one, not so much. But then I probably getting on close to 2 years, but about a year and a half ago, when I was recovering from a surgery, I read The 15 Lives of Harry August by, I think it was, her last name's North. Can't believe I'm forgetting. Claire North, thank you very much.
Missy Massey, ladies and gentlemen, with the assist.
So, First 15 Lives of Harry August by Claire North. It's an unusual book. I had heard about it on a podcast, Imaginary Worlds, and it's basically Groundhog Day for this guy's whole life. So he's born, he lives, he dies, and then he is born again in the exact same place every time. And the story follows his first 15 reincarnations. And it's strange, it's insightful in the way that it sort of challenges like this assumption, can one person make a difference in terms of what their impact is on the world, or can't they? And of course a lot of that is what the book's about.
Does he know that he's living it again?
Yeah, he has a perfect memory. He's like unique among sort of the community of people who have this. They don't even consider it a gift. It's just something that happens to them. And they have means that they can communicate backwards and forwards through history by virtue of when they are born and die.
Huh.
There's
Cool.
lots of really clever concepts. I think she did a really good job of sort of establishing a premise, and then
I bet the world Bible.
and then there is
awesome.
some weird stuff that comes out of that premise. But it always remains just very much his story, and the people who are involved in his life. So in that sense, I thought it was intimate, but also large in scope, and it kind of reinvigorated me when I was in a place where I wasn't thinking about books, but I was thinking about like not dying.
We're a fan of you not being dead.
I am
Absolutely.
too. My 11-year-old every now and then, like almost every day, will be like, "Thanks for not dying, Dad," and I'm like, "Yeah, no."
Yeah.
Is that the
No
one
shit.
that used that as a selling tool for your?
No, different child.
Okay.
There are so many to choose from.
Yeah. For the studio audience, I'll say at LibertyCon, one of my children, who at the time was maybe 9, he would have been 9 at the time, he asked if he could sell books. So I gave him a couple books, and he wandered around up to strangers, and he was like, my dad almost died of cancer. You should buy his book. He sold 8 books in 2 hours on his own. At one point, he also lay down in the hallway blocking traffic and just held books up in the air. Like, it was
Kids got
It
skills.
was something to see
He was
because I was
effective.
watching.
Yeah, he even referred people with credit cards to me. He, you know, as a little bit of an introvert myself, I was glad to have the help. So yeah.
Yeah, this kid, not so much with the introvert.
Not so much
No.
with the introversion, no sir. And I will say, if you've probably seen this on Facebook, but if anyone out there in the wider world is a member of the SFWA, the short story is called Shift. It's a novelette, and submissions are open now.
All right.
Yep.
Well, thank you for stopping by, JD.
Yeah, thanks for
Let's give JD a hand.
surprising me.
Great job.
Thanks.
And we will be back with somebody else in the hot seat. Bye.
Bye.